Hello, you're welcome once again to the Divine Williams Show. This segment is Let's Talk About Love. It's been a while since we came your way with Let's Talk About Love. And we are right here again. After this break, I'll introduce my guest. All right, welcome back from that quick break. And I have with me in the studios Pastor Collins Angel Rose. Also, for God bless you
Thank
once
you.
again for coming. It's been a while. I think after the break and I think almost 2, 3 months now. We've not seen you on the show, so it's very beautiful. It's a pleasure. It's a blessing to have you once again on the show. Okay, before we continue, I want to let you know this that very soon we are looking for people who would love to be ambassadors of the Divine Williams Show, who are committed to making us go viral on platforms, share us on your social media handles, your platforms, your timelines, and all of that. So if you want to be part of us, send us a DM or send us a WhatsApp on this number 0273 869408. 0273 869408. If you are outside Ghana, then you have to add plus 233 273 869408. God bless you so much. All right, Osama Collins.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while, like I said earlier. Today is Let's Talk About Love. I want us to look at conflicts in relationships and marriages. I believe that that's one of the things we can never sweep under the carpet. Is very, very important. If you're going to talk about relationship and marriages, conflict is very, very key. We have to talk about it. And before we even start talking about that conflict, for me, I have an issue. So when the Bible says, "What God put together, let no man put asunder," God saw when He created Adam and Eve that it was good. He commanded them and instructed them to. We know what is said in the book of Genesis 1. He says that if you find a wife, you find a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So, Collins, why then should the people that God put together have conflict? Where from the conflict?
All right. Thank you so much. And
Mm,
this is going to be a great topic
mm,
for us to discuss. And I
yeah,
believe that our viewers will be blessed
absolutely.
at the end of this section.
Right.
Um, I always say that if you marry
Mm-hmm.
an angel who is flawless, blameless,
Mm,
perfect,
mm.
you will still have conflict in that marriage.
Interesting. Tell me about it.
Yes, you will. Even if you marry Jesus, if
Okay.
you marry our Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
you will still have issues.
How I with Jesus? Okay, maybe I should leave you to explain what you mean by that.
Oh, okay. So that's exactly what we are going to learn today.
Okay.
Factors that can cause conflicts
Mm,
in marriages.
mm,
The Bible says in
mm.
chapter 2 of Genesis, verse 24, that for this cause a man shall leave his house
That's right.
and be joined by the woman, and
Mm.
the two shall become
Become
one.
one. Mm.
The What we need to understand is that the two will not become one when they are married.
Okay.
The two shall become one.
One.
So it means it's a process.
It's a process.
And
right.
from the day you marry or the day you start a relationship
Mm,
until you become one,
mm.
you can't have peace.
Okay.
So you have to go through a journey to
Mm.
become one.
Right.
Why should we become one? It means we are not one. We are from different backgrounds,
Right.
different cultures,
Mm,
different ideologies,
mm,
different mindsets.
mm.
So it's when we come together and we start to work together as a team, then we begin to sacrifice and compromise so that we
Okay.
can look like one.
Fantastic. Okay. So is it that if until the point we become one, that is where the conflicts come in?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So in trying to become one, which is a process,
Mm,
that is where the conflict comes in. Because I don't like the way you do this.
mm,
I don't like also the way you smile. But it is in becoming one through knowledge
mm,
and through knowledge and compatibility.
mm,
Then we become to know ourselves better and we begin to now sacrifice and compromise
mhm.
in order to become one. Anytime you see chaos,
You're right.
conflict, misunderstanding, confusion, fight, it's misunderstanding, disagreement,
Mm.
discrepancies. And these discrepancies comes from maybe 5 or 6 different factors that we'll
Okay.
be looking at today.
Okay. So is that supposed to mean that I believe that the scriptures even says that before you build a house, you have to be sure that you have to count the cost and all of that before you build. Is that supposed to mean that we enter relationships without counting the cost, without even knowing who we are entering a relationship with? We don't know the person's temperament. We don't know the person's background. We don't know the person's culture, environment where the person was brought up, and all of that. Is that supposed to mean that we don't spend quality time doing all of that before entering into a relationship? I'm asking because I know that it's actually part, because there are people who get carried away by so many things. Maybe the person's, I mean, the guy's six packs, the ladies' butts and boobs and all of that. And so they get carried away. And then because they have what it takes, they are pushed by people or themselves into marriage. And they realize after marrying that I should have taken my time to do this, to know you more, to know your family and all of that. That is how come some people even marry. And after a few weeks, they divorce because they'll come and tell you that I didn't know he had a wife. I didn't know he had a husband. So is it possible that the conflict sometimes come because we don't even know the people we rush into marriages and relationships?
All right, that's a great question.
Mm.
1 Peter 3:7 says
Mhm.
that we should dwell with our partners according to
Wisdom.
knowledge.
Okay.
So knowledge means the ability to know
Right.
in and out of the
Mm.
person.
That's right.
Because the more I know you, the better I can relate with you.
Mm.
We are not saying that when you fall in love, you're going to marry a perfect person or you're
Mm.
going to have a perfect home.
Right.
But we are saying that the more you know, the more you become conversant with something, the easier is it for you to operate.
Okay.
Now, when I give you your TV remote,
Mm.
currently the one you use at home,
Right.
it's possible whether there's no light. It's
Mm.
possible whether there's no light, you can be able to on your television, increase the volume without even looking at the keypad.
Okay.
When I walk into my room and there's no light and I have to switch on the light, I don't need to use touchlight to look for the switch. By the virtue of staying in the house and knowing the arrangement of the house, I know where the TV is, I
Mm.
know where the switch is,
Mm.
I know where the outside bulb or light is.
Right.
So switching it on becomes a bit easier because I have knowledge
You
of
have
what I'm
knowledge of where
dealing
they
with.
are. Right.
So we are saying that enter relationship with the understanding that you want to study your people.
Mm.
We are saying that. We are not saying don't marry them.
Mm.
We are saying before you marry them, can you please know them?
Mm.
Because it is in knowing them that you can relate with them better.
Mm. Okay. So there are people who fantastic one. But there are people who also will tell you that I have counseled people, I've
Okay.
spoken to people before, and they will tell you that, I don't want to lose her. I don't want to lose him. So that's why I quickly entered a relationship because she was so beautiful. And I can't afford to see somebody else coming for him or her because I wanted to take my time to know her. How about that?
Yes, that's also it's a problem, but it's
Mm.
okay. But our issue here is when
Mm.
you step into a relationship, you open your eyes
Okay.
because during dating stage,
Mm.
it's not for kissing; it's for data collection. The
When
kiss,
you are dating,
yes,
it is not for kissing.
No.
It is for data collection
That's
on
it.
the person you are trying
Good.
to, as you were, settle down with.
I need to know you
Wow.
well because
Mm.
it is in knowing you that I
Mm.
can be able to live with you very well.
Mm.
I used to drive a car.
Mm.
I gave my car to my friend. He was having difficult driving the car,
Mm.
but I can close my eyes and drive the car.
Okay.
Because
it is
I'm
your
used
car.
to the car. I have
Right.
knowledge of the car. I
Mm.
know the dynamics of the car. So it's easier to use it. So
Wow.
we are saying that if we have to have a happy home, then first you must know your partner, know him well.
Mm.
Not for you to let him or her go, but to study and know how to adjust and live with the person.
Right.
When you're able to understand this, it becomes easier. Because a lot of people are married to men who are quick tempered.
Exactly. Mm.
A lot of women are married to men who are awkward, different, bad behaviors. They
Mm.
didn't know because they didn't take the time to study people. When you study them, you may not necessarily have to leave them,
Mm.
but it helps to adjust.
But Pastor Collins, is it also possible that, like you rightly said right now, that there are people that because they want you, they will shelve their real character.
Okay.
And so, like we are talking about the man who is quick tempered. Maybe he shelved that or he kept that in secret. And so the lady is not even aware that my man is quick tempered. And the man is trying to pretend to be all
Yes.
that just to make sure that he keeps the lady. So what happens after you have tried your best and the person hides things from you?
Okay.
And so you enter a relationship and things begin to, the animal or the beast side of the person begins to pop up. What are you going to do?
All right, that's good. we have entered into a generation that we
Mm.
are missing the steps and the principles of relationship.
Mm.
The first call to a relationship is friendship.
Okay.
I'm your friend. We've come to meet for almost getting to 6 or 8 months now.
Mm.
There's no pretense.
Right.
We work, we deal with ourselves
Mm.
on a playing ground
Mm.
because there's no interest in our friendship. But we live in a generation now. Somebody can look at a lady and say, she's my crush.
Exactly.
You getting it?
Yes.
So once you create an impression in her mind that you are crushing on her, she begins to pretend.
Exactly.
So you lose the place of friendship
Mm.
where she or she opens to you for you to know who or
she
he
truly
is.
is. Mm.
When I'm your friend and a lady friend comes home, she knows me. I eat on the floor.
Mm.
I sit on the floor to eat and I'm comfortable with it. But if I loves you comes in or crush comes in, then I have to impress her
Impress the person.
by taking the food to the dining table as if I'm used to dining table. I'm not used to dining table. I sit
Right,
on the floor.
right,
So when
right.
you jump the stage of friendship
Mm.
and you enter into the place of crushing and relationship,
Mm.
then the person automatically begins to pretend.
Mm.
So we are saying that to avoid this stage, please go in for friendship. Be a good friend. Let's have open discussions, open
Mm.
friendship. There are a lot of things you will know. You will not know 100% of your spouse before you marry. No, it's not possible.
Okay. I was
But at
coming there.
least the few ones you will see by observation through friendship,
Mm.
the few ones you will see by praying to God, that God will show you,
Mm.
should be able to give you enough or adequate information to step into marriage. The rest can be manageable.
I like what you said when we were talking about dating, that dating, it's not for kissing, it's for data collection. I believe that it is very paramount. Knowledge is very, very paramount. I believe that if we are going to deal with our partners with knowledge, conflicts will be very minimal or almost not there at all. Because so basically what you're saying right now, it's clear that most of the premises for conflict in relationships is lack of knowledge. Which aspects or which areas do we lack knowledge, which is why conflicts are always uh, rearing their heads in our relationships?
Okay, thank you once again. So, and earlier I made a statement that even if you marry Jesus,
Mm.
you will still have problems in your marriage.
Mhm.
Not because Jesus is not good, he's
Mm.
perfect,
Mm.
but you are not perfect.
Okay.
So it's not going to, it's going to have a
Not gonna
problem.
work.
The first area that most people have their conflicts
Mm.
starts from, it's a parental upbringing.
Okay.
Jesus was raised by Mary and Joseph.
Right.
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 I'm raised by Mr. Donko
Mm-hmm.
and Mrs. Donko.
Mm.
So that one alone is going to bring a conflict between Jesus and myself.
Because you're from different family
Good.
backgrounds. Mm.
Our parental upbringing is different.
Mm.
The way your father raised you,
Mm.
he raised you for himself.
Mm.
He raised you with his ideology.
Okay.
He raised you with him in his mindset, with a continuity of a generation in his mindset.
Right.
So what makes you think that when you come to marry me, 3 weeks, I should go to change and become like you?
Mm. It will take a while.
Parents have influence of our children because we are going to live with our parents or may have lived with them for 30 years plus.
Mm.
And so they have a way of shaping our mind,
Right.
shaping our ideology, the way we do things. And the most painful thing is that we learn from our parents unconsciously.
Mm. That's
So
true.
there are people who are doing things in marriage not because they want to,
Mm.
but the things they have seen their mom
Things
do.
they have seen.
They've seen their dad.
Mm.
They have become an integral part of them.
Right.
Let me give an example.
Okay.
I grew up with my dad.
Okay.
Okay. My mom and dad are married, but I
Mm.
grew up with my dad more because my father had a store, a shop. I had to stay with my dad. So
Mm.
I spent all my life with my dad.
Mm.
And growing up, last year, something struck my mind. I asked myself, why don't I wear shorts,
Mm.
like this kind of sneakers?
Yeah.
Why don't I wear them? And I realized that since I was born, I've not seen my father wearing one before.
Mm.
So it means if my wife, she goes to the market, out of beauty and romance, she wants to buy me
Some
knicker
shorts.
shorts, sneakers. She can buy 100 of them. Will I wait?
No,
My taste is not in
it's
it.
not in it.
He has not been
Because you grew
programmed.
naturally, unconsciously,
Yes,
not liking it because you've not seen your father wearing them.
exactly.
Mm.
So basically, our parental upbringing is one reason most people are fighting their marriages.
Mm.
My dad taught me this. My mom taught me this.
Okay.
Your dad taught you that.
Mm.
My mom taught me that. It's not the same.
Mm.
As long as our parents are different, their training is different,
Right.
their ideologies to life is different,
Mm.
it's going to affect the children. So there are a lot of conflict we can avoid when we know where he comes from
Okay.
and who raised him up.
Okay.
I can go deeper
Mm.
and use my marriage as an example.
Right.
I was brought up in a village by my dad.
Okay.
My dad is more of a strict person, very strict, like a military man, very strict. If my dad sends you to buy him pure water, for example, he knows that the shop he sends you to buy pure water, the distance is 2 minutes 41 seconds.
If you come 5 minutes.
5? If you come 3 minutes 15 seconds, you have questions to answer. And if care is not taken, you will be beaten.
Some lashes.
So when my father sends me, I don't have time to greet anybody. I just it's a military affair.
It reminds me of I'm sorry, on a lighter note, there was this Nigerian comedy, I mean cartoon comedy, where a small boy was sent by the mother to go and buy medicine for her. I think the mother was sick. And then whilst the name of the medicine was a bit complicated. So whilst he was going, instead of him to just go and play and buy the medicine and come back, he was reciting or he kept mentioning the medicine's name so that he would not forget.
You can't forget.
But along the line, he met his friends who were playing football. And he decided to join them play the football. After some few minutes, when he realized that, hey, my mom sent me. Going to the pharmacy, he forgot the name of the medicine. And he went to mention different medicine. As a matter of fact, that day, when he came back, he received lashes. And then he went back. That was just on the lighter note. Yeah. So parental upbringing.
Yes. So in this story, in another parent's home, they were like, oh, I think it's not right. Please go back.
Go back.
Tell him or tell the pharmacist that I wanted this. So please change it for me.
Right.
Not in my case.
Your kid will lash you.
They will have to beat you for being a fool before they will drive you back. And wherever you look for money to bring what I asked you, you have to bring it. And I love that. I love the training because maybe I was very stubborn. We were stubborn, so we needed a hard father on us. But then I married my wife. The father, my in-law, is rather a military man, but treats them as one of the most romantic men on earth.
Wow.
My father has not been to military before, but
it's hard.
He's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. He looks at you and you are playing. The eye alone, you sit down. You have to sit down. It's a military affair. So now I'm married to my wife. That the father has to pamper her. The father wants to buy a car and calls the children down and said, hey, Raymond, my in-laws, Raymond and co. I want to buy a car. What car do you suggest we should buy? Right. But my question is, my father will ask you what car he wants to buy with his money. My father will ask you which car he wants to buy with his money.
It's his money.
His money. you don't have a say.
That's right.
You can't even touch the car and be playing. Hey, you sit down, gentlemen, you spoil the car. But I grew up in this environment. So if care is not taken, you would think that your husband is rigid.
Or too strict.
He's too strict. He's not romantic like you want it. He's not this and that. Have you taken care to know where he comes from? Who raised him up? If we have taken care to know who raised people up, most of the conflict we are having in our homes will not be there because you will know from where they come from. My father is very strategic. If my father is sleeping, whatever you are saying, even if he's sleeping, he can hear everything in his deep sleep.
Wow.
So you can see the kind of military rule we went through. And now I'm married to my wife who wants us to discuss everything, including even how the dog is faring. And I grew up from my house, we don't discuss it. It's good morning, and good night.
And that's it.
So sometimes when we look at some of these things, and then the two of them coming together in the same home, then you know there's going to be a problem.
Right. So
there's going to be a big problem.
So that's parental upbringing or family background.
And it has effect on people's marriages as we speak now. It's really destroying people's marriage, not because it's bad, but because we are raised from two different
homes. Not because
homes.
the people are even bad people.
They're not bad people. They're not bad people. There are a lot of things I don't do. There are a lot. I can tell you the trait I've taken from my dad that has really changed my life. I don't cry. We don't cry.
Wow.
We don't cry. It's a military affair. You don't cry. It's
so this
one
will get you. You may not be somebody who is so soft and so all over your
Let me cut
wife.
My wife asked me, said, do I have feelings? Like, do I? I said, yes, I have. But if someone is dead, he's dead. You bury him, rest in peace. He's gone.
That's it.
And from Families will have to cry. Even the men will have to
Exactly.
cry
Mm,
because they were raised from a soft family. So
exactly.
these things, if we don't understand this, these things can destroy our marriage. Jesus was raised in maybe in heaven. I was raised in Nazareth. It's two different things. Our
Exactly.
parents are different, and it's going to cost. If we don't manage it very well, it's gonna.
That's
Some
true.
men believe that my child should be beaten when he's wrong to
Mm.
learn lesson.
Mm.
Some say no, you don't beat child. You
You don't
speak to
touch.
them. And some are these petty things. They are the ones that are going to destroy our marriage.
Exactly. Exactly.
I heard a
These are
couple who
beautiful.
divorced because of Pepsodent.
I was coming to that.
Yeah, and
The lady says
you would think it's funny.
you press it from behind,
You think
and
it's
the man
funny.
says you press it from the middle, and that is just the reason why people just got divorced.
You would think it's funny, but deep in them, people are holding on to what they learned from their parents.
Mm.
What they learned from their parents. There are men who cannot hug their wives.
That's true.
There are men who cannot kiss their wives,
That's
even
true.
in public.
Mm.
Not because they want
They will not
it.
even hold your hands.
Yes,
Mm.
because they grew up to see that.
Mm.
And every child is a photocopy of his father.
Right.
Every son is a photocopy of his dad.
Mm.
And every mom is a photocopy of his mom. The only exemption is the level of education, your maturity, your spiritual growth. In
Exactly.
the absence of this, you look like your dad.
Mm.
I've gone to places, people look at me and say, are you Mrs. Duncan's son? I say, yeah. He said, whoa,
You
the
look
way you
so much
act,
like him.
the way you act is
That's
just
true.
like him.
Same to me. Yeah.
So if my wife doesn't understand that this is where I come from, to the extent that it got to a time, I and my wife was having issue because she believes that if she has to sleep, you have to cuddle her.
Mhm.
I don't get it. You are feeling sleepy.
Mm.
You want to sleep. I should hold you before you sleep. And then when you're not, I don't think you are ready to sleep.
Mm.
Because when I lie down, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. My father can look at you and say, all of you, Charlie, it's 7 o'clock, sleep. And you don't need a song to sleep. You don't need a song.
You are going to sleep.
You have to
Because
sleep.
even if you don't sleep, you might be beaten.
You will be beaten. So
My
then,
goodness.
when I grew up, so sleeping is sleep, you sleep.
Mm.
But here, my wife says that they are brought from a family. They
right.
have to sing for them. They have to play for them.
Mm.
They have to play with them
Mm.
before they sleep. So you keep holding her and it's annoying you. You don't
Mm.
get it. Where from this?
Mm.
It's strange.
That's true.
It's not strange. Check her background.
Mm.
Check his background. See his parents, and you will know a lot about him that
Mm.
you will have to now learn to ignore
Mm.
or try to sacrifice because it's been 30 years the father has raised him. It's been
Exactly.
29 years mommy raised her. If care is not taken, you will want to change her in one year.
In 1 year.
You have
And that is
issues.
not
So
gonna be
much conflict to
possible.
fight.
Mm.
Everything you are fighting. Just
Mm.
know a man wrote behind his car. He
Mm.
says, study your people and know how to live with them.
Study your people and know how to live with them. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Pastor Collins, thank you so much.
God bless you, sir.
It's unfortunately we have to end this way, but I was liking the end of the show, but we have to end this way. Thank you so much for coming
God bless.
again. God bless you so much.
God bless you. sir.
And to you, our viewers, once again, we want to thank you so much for staying with us. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. We don't know what to do. You are the reason why we are here, and we want you to keep joining us and keep inviting others to get on the show with us. And then let's do this together every time. Like I said, we want to start answering people's questions. And also, whatever you have gone through, you want to, if you feel free to share with us so that we'll discuss it on the show and give you solutions. Please let us know. And so, this is the number. I'm giving you the number to be displayed on your screen. The number is +233 273 869408 +233 273 869408. You can share your questions with us, and you can share your challenges, whatever you're going through that you want us to discuss. You can share with us, and then we'll take it from there. God bless you so much once again for staying with us. It is bye for now.